keep on.
Chris, not long until Scotland against England at BT Murrayfield. How's the build-up been so far?
It's been good. Boys were in last week, building nicely towards this week coming, and then boys have gone away, played for the clubs, and everyone's come through. Near enough, everyone's come through unscathed. Boys are just looking forward to it. We've had a good couple of days training and plenty of meetings last week to prep us nicely. So things have been a bit short, a bit sharper this week. So I think we're in a good place.
You've been involved in a few Scotland-England games now. How do you approach a game of this magnitude? Are you quite laid back, or do you have more of an intense focus leading up to this match?
You probably have to ask some of the other boys. I don't know. I try to keep myself the same no matter what the game is, and I like to think I'm pretty laid back generally. I don't like to get too worked up before games. I don't really see the point in that. Everyone's different. For me, I'm pretty chilled, pretty laid back. I'll still train hard, like I still gym and do all my recovery bits, so I'm well prepared. But I don't tend to have an extra bit of sort of intensity in how I approach it, an England-Scotland game or an international game. I just like that consistency, really.
And you're back in camp life, the bubble life, as it were. What do you sort of do in your downtime to keep yourself busy?
Not a lot, really. There's a new coffee machine that gets hammered, so I'll do a bit of that. Practice the latte art, which isn't coming on too well. Like there's the team room, so there's pool, there's darts, there's card games, just loads of little bits like that. There's a good recovery suite, if you like, over the road now. So boys are in and out of that quite a lot. But apart from that, man, it's pretty laid back, pretty chilled. Watch a bit of Netflix and Prime and stuff. So.
At the start of the week, or the start of the camp, Gregor spoke about how important conversation was with other teams. How do you find that? Because the squad seems to be really close knit. You all seem to get on really well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like we've got a good bunch of boys now, and I think that sort of the stuff in the team room that there's plenty of stuff for boys to do, whether that is cards or pool or whatever it is. So I think everyone knows each other pretty well now. There's a lot of boys that were here in the autumn that have come into the Six Nations as well. So there was already relationships being built then, and then it's just sort of rolling on into this tournament.
Who do you sort of spend the most time with in camp?
My roommate Sam Skinner. We're pretty close, but like as I said, like everyone's sound, everyone's easy to get on with, so it doesn't matter. Like you can go into the team room and just slot into any group really, which is a good sign. No one's not like going to welcome you into a conversation or anything, so there's a good bunch. There's the usual suspects that you'll find in the team room. Would be someone like Blair King on, he's always knocking about. I like to think that I'm there quite a bit, so there's always the same sort of faces that you'll walk in and expect them to be there. So.
What are your memories of playing England in the past?
The first game I played in was that dramatic 38-all. Was it 38-all? That 38-all draw, yeah. Which was just utter chaos, but also extremely exciting at the same time. I was on the bench. I remember watching that and seeing the minutes go by and the points going by at the same time. I think it was something like 32-0 at 32 minutes, or it was something daft like that. So yeah, that was crazy, and I came on with sort of 30 minutes to go and played my part, and we just started scoring tries, and yeah, that was pretty mental. And then the second one was another dramatic one for other reasons, being the weather being absolutely chaos as well. So that was just a bizarre. I was on the bench for that as well. That was a weird one, watching that. It was an absolute blizzard.
And then last year, how special was that?
Last year was, that was cool. Obviously there was no fans, which was slightly different, but we know we had a load of support from fans at home. We've seen videos of how special that day was for them. So it was a pretty cool moment to go down to Twickenham and win for however many years that. I know you'll know how many years that's been. So yeah, it was cool.
When you think of all you've achieved in recent years, do you think back and reflect on how your rugby journey started? Because you sort of came into professional rugby a bit later than you'd probably liked.
I don't think I came in a bit later than I liked, because it just was never, it wasn't something that I was aiming to do, do you know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, it would have been something that I would have liked to do, but when you get to 18, you've gone to uni, 19, 20, you're sort of thinking, well, you're not even thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? So when it came about, it was like, oh yeah, I'll give that a crack. And I did, and I'm glad I did, obviously. And everything sort of gradually improved. It was quite a slow sort of build up from when I started out at Newcastle. And obviously I didn't debut in the Prem until I think it was the day before my 24th birthday. Right. So yeah, so from that point it started to accelerate. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really reflect on it until someone asks me this. Like, people have asked me that sort of question before, so I don't really think, it's not something that I think about on a daily basis. It's just when I'm asked, I'm like, oh. And there's another one probably when I retire, I'll reflect on my career and be like, it's pretty awesome.
And we had fans back in the autumn. We've got a full crowd against England. The atmosphere is going to be through the roof when you're standing there with the anthem. What's that feeling like?
It's a relief that those restrictions have been lifted, because I think we've done enough games without crowds and without spectators, because it just wasn't the same. It was dead. It was quiet. There was just such a minimal atmosphere. It was pretty awful, to be fair. So like, to have people back is amazing. Like, the anthem is next level when the crowd's there, compared to when it's not. When we're getting off the bus, when we just arrived to Murrayfield, it's one of my favourite moments of every match day. So I'm really excited to witness all that again.
It became strangely normal having no crowds. You know, it became the norm, which to begin with was very strange. But I know personally, when crowds eventually came back, and they've been back in November and so on, how much I'd missed it, how much I'd missed the buzz that you get from a sellout crowd. So yeah, looking forward to having this tournament, fingers crossed, played in front of full stadium. Oh, the BT Murrayfield crowds are incredible. The energy is, it's something you can't compare, I don't think, as a Scottish player. And they're definitely the 16th man for us. Like you said, close losses, and you never know. We're never going to know whether it would have been different with a crowd, but what we do know is that if we can play well and bring the crowd into the game, it will help us massively. We can feed off that, and you know, the noise and the cheering, and you know, that has an effect on the opposition too. So anything we can do now with full stadiums back, you know, to get them behind us and hear the noise, we'll be doing to try and give us that extra advantage.